People love using age as a shield. Too young, too old, too early, too late excuses dressed as logic. But here's the truth that nobody wants to swallow. The world does not care how old you are. The world cares about one thing: your output. Your contribution, your execution, your ability to create results when everyone else is still talking about what they want to do. The youngest Amazon millionaire didn't rise because someone handed him a shortcut. He didn't get a standing ovation for being young. Nobody cheered when he opened his seller account. Nobody congratulated him when he searched for his first product. Nobody applauded when he earned his first $10. He didn't get celebrated, he got ignored, just like everybody else, because that's how the real world works. It's indifferent. It doesn't feel sorry for you, it doesn't reward you for trying, and it definitely doesn't care about your birthday. Most people are trapped because they think age matters, they think success has a timer, they think opportunity comes with an age limit, they wait for the right time, the right moment, the right age. But the youngest Amazon millionaire understood something powerful. The right time is the moment you stop waiting, the moment you stop caring about opinions, the moment you choose output over excuses. While his classmates were scrolling, gaming, and talking about dreams they'd never chase, he was studying listings. He was learning how to read demand charts. He was analyzing price wars at 2 a.m. He became obsessed, not with money, but with the process of becoming someone capable of earning it. Because when you're obsessed with growth, age becomes irrelevant. When your actions start outrunning the average person's entire work ethic, the marketplace stops caring about how old you are and starts paying attention to what you bring to the table. Most people think youth is a disadvantage. They think being young means lack of experience, lack of respect, lack of resources. They don't see the hidden advantage. Being young means you have nothing to lose. No reputation to protect, no image to maintain, no fear of falling because you haven't climbed high enough for the fall to hurt. When you're young, you get to move fast, you get to fail fast, you get to experiment before life piles weight on your shoulders. That is a weapon, if you use it, but here's the other side of the truth. Being young does not entitle you to anything. It doesn't excuse laziness, it doesn't excuse waiting, it doesn't get you a head start unless you create your own. The youngest Amazon millionaire didn't win because of his age. He won because he refused to hide behind it. He refused to let it be a limitation. He refused to let society convince him to slow down, wait, or be realistic. He understood something most people never learn. Your age is not your identity. Your work is. If you produce results, the world will respect you. If you don't, nothing else matters. You can be 15 or 50 if you show up, execute, and dominate your lane. The marketplace will reward you. But if you sit and complain about being too young or too early, you'll spend your life watching people younger than you, hungrier than you, take what you were too scared to chase. Success doesn't check your age. Success checks your effort, it checks your grit, it checks how much you're willing to sacrifice. If you're not willing to outpace the average person, the world will overlook you. But if you show up with relentless execution, if you bring output that cannot be ignored, your age becomes irrelevant. No one cares about your age, they care about what you do with it. Everyone wants a shortcut. Everyone wants the secret path, the hidden loophole, the magic formula that turns nothing into millions. But here's the truth that destroys all fantasies. Discipline is the only shortcut that exists. Every other shortcut is a lie people tell themselves to avoid doing the work. The youngest Amazon millionaire didn't get rich because he found some miracle product or lucked into a perfect market. He wasn't born with a manual. He wasn't handed an advantage, he earned it the same way every real winner earns it, through discipline that most people will never experience, never understand, and never commit to. He didn't start with brilliance. He started with repetition. While the average person kept searching for the easiest way, he obsessed over becoming the kind of person who could win in any environment. Most people pray for opportunities. He prepared for them. Every night he was learning product research. Every morning he was analyzing competition. While others slept, he tracked margins. While others scrolled, he studied customer pain points. He replaced entertainment with execution. He replaced comfort with consistency. That's the difference. People think success takes talent. People think it takes intelligence. People think it takes some natural gift. But the truth is brutal. Success only respects those who grind when nobody's watching. Discipline outperforms talent. Consistency outperforms brilliance. Showing up every day outperforms being smart once in a while. The marketplace doesn't care how gifted you are, it cares how committed you are. This kid wasn't the smartest, he wasn't the fastest, but he was the one who showed up the hardest. Discipline became his identity. He didn't need motivation, he didn't need hype, he didn't need someone cheering for him. He built habits so strong they carried him even on the days he didn't want to move. While others took breaks, he built systems. While others waited for motivation, he treated business like oxygen, something you don't wait for, something you don't negotiate with, something you don't skip. He didn't celebrate small progress, he built on it. He didn't hide from failure, he dissected it. He didn't let emotions decide his actions, he let discipline dictate his direction. This is where most people break. They want success, but they want it without sacrifice. They want results, but they want them without repetition. They want the reward, but not the routine. They want to be millionaires without acting like one. They want to win without doing the ugly, boring, unglamorous work that winning requires. But this kid embraced the ugly work. He embraced the grind. He embraced the boredom of the process, reading analytics every single day, tracking shipments, handling returns, fixing listings, talking to suppliers, updating ads, improving listings day after day with no applause, no spotlight, no recognition. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't care how busy you are. It demands the same level of intensity every day, and that's why it's the real shortcut, because discipline cuts through everything that slows other people down. It eliminates hesitation. It eliminates doubt. It eliminates inconsistency. It gives you an edge that talent can't match and luck can't replace. That's the mindset he built, and that's why he won, because the shortcut isn't some secret strategy. It's waking up when you don't want to. It's learning when you don't feel like it. It's working when you're tired. It's pushing when your mind tells you to quit. Most people wait for a better time. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the stars to align. But the youngest Amazon millionaire didn't wait for anything. He created momentum. He created opportunities. He created his path through discipline so sharp it cut through every excuse that destroys average people. Discipline is the only shortcut. It always has been. It always will be. Most people run from failure like it's a fire that burns everything it touches, but the truth is the opposite. Failure isn't fire, it's fuel. It's the weight that builds strength. It's the pressure that shapes winners. And the youngest Amazon millionaire understood something most people never will. Failure wasn't his enemy, it was his training partner. His first product failed, not a small stumble. A full crash, money lost, hours wasted, confidence shaken. Most people would have quit right there, because quitting is easy when you can blame the world instead of facing yourself. But he didn't quit. He didn't bow. He didn't break. He took that failure, dissected it, learned from it, and added it to his arsenal like a weapon. Then came his second attempt, another hit, another loss. And people around him started talking, the kind of talk that kills dreams. Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you should slow down. Maybe you're not ready. But he knew something they didn't. Failure isn't a signal to stop, it's a signal to level up. Every setback was showing him exactly where he was weak, and instead of hiding from his weaknesses, he hunted them down. By the time his third attempt struggled, he wasn't discouraged anymore. He was sharpening himself. Most people fail and think the universe is punishing them, but he understood that failure wasn't rejection, it was preparation. It was teaching him how to survive in a marketplace that eats the unprepared alive. It was teaching him patience, resilience, strategy, endurance. It was stripping away comfort and exposing who he needed to become. He didn't allow failure to define him. He allowed it to refine him. Every lost dollar became a teacher. Every mistake became a blueprint. Every setback became momentum. When people said stop, he leaned in harder. When people said rest, he doubled his efforts. He treated failure like a gym. Every rep made him stronger. And just like lifting weights, the resistance wasn't there to break him, it was there to build him. Most people crumble under resistance because their mindset is fragile. They want success without being tested. They want growth without discomfort. They want a win without scars. But the youngest Amazon millionaire wasn't afraid of scars. He earned them. He welcomed them because he knew a truth most people ignore. Your success is measured by how much failure you can endure without folding. Everyone wants the celebration that comes with success, but nobody wants the bruises that come before it. Everyone wants results, but only a few are willing to grind through the ugly parts. Delayed shipments, bad suppliers, failed product tests, negative reviews, lost investments. He lived through all of it, and that's why he became unstoppable. Failure hardened him. It taught him how to think when everything went wrong. It taught him how to adapt when plans collapsed. It taught him how to stay composed in chaos. It built mental toughness the easy path could never give him. The difference between him and everyone else wasn't that he avoided failure. It was that he refused to be defined by it. He refused to let it discourage him. He refused to let it dictate his future. Every time failure knocked him down, he got up faster. Every time he got hit, he came back smarter. Most people let failure end their story. He let failure begin his. Because when you stop fearing failure, you unlock a version of yourself that is dangerous, focused, relentless, immune to excuses. That's the version the world pays attention to. That's the version that built his success. Failure didn't stop him. It shaped him. Failure didn't block him, it built him. Failure didn't weaken him, it forged him into the kind of person success had no choice but to reward. Most people think success is about skill, information, connections, or timing. They think it's about external advantages, who you know, what you know, how lucky you get. But the truth is simple and brutal. Success belongs to the person whose mind does not fold under pressure. The youngest Amazon millionaire didn't win because he had better tools. He won because he built a mind that refused to break. Every challenge he faced wasn't just a business problem, it was a mental test. Every setback wasn't just a financial hit, it was a battle with himself, and every obstacle was an invitation to quit. But he didn't quit because he wasn't operating from emotion. He was operating from a mindset forged in discomfort, repetition, and discipline. The average person collapses at the first sign of friction. One bad day and they lose focus. One failure and they spiral. One unexpected problem and suddenly everything feels impossible. They fold because their mind has no foundation. Their mindset is built on convenience, comfort, and motivation, things that fall apart the moment life stops being easy. But this kid built his mind like a fortress. He trained it, he conditioned it, he exposed it to stress until stress became normal. While others ran from discomfort, he walked straight into it. While others avoided pressure, he learned to function inside it. He understood that mental toughness isn't a gift, it's a skill. A skill built through struggle, repetition, and the refusal to surrender. He learned how to work when he was tired. He learned how to focus when he was overwhelmed. He learned how to stay calm when everything was collapsing. He learned how to keep moving when the results weren't showing yet. That's what separates winners from everyone else. It wasn't the business model that made him successful. It was the mindset behind it. Amazon didn't create his millionaire status. His mental resilience did. He built a mind that treated every problem as solvable, every setback as temporary, every failure as feedback. He didn't crumble, he didn't hesitate, he didn't lose himself in doubt. He took control of his thoughts instead of letting his doubts control him. Most people don't realize that their mind is their biggest enemy, not the marketplace, not the competition, not the economy. It's their own thinking, their own self-doubt, their own fear, their own comfort. They break themselves long before life does, but he refused to be one of them. He refused to let his thoughts dictate his limits. He trained his mind to stay locked in even when everything felt impossible. He conditioned himself to embrace pressure rather than run from it. He developed the mental endurance that most people never touch, and that mental endurance became his superpower, because business is not a straight line. It's chaos, it's uncertainty, it's problems showing up at the worst possible time, it's unexpected hits, lost revenue, supplier issues, competition attacks, and endless hard decisions. If your mind folds, you lose. But if your mind stands tall, you become unstoppable. He didn't just build a business, he built a mind capable of handling the weight of it, a mind that didn't break when money was tight, a mind that didn't panic when sales dropped. A mind that didn't freeze when things went wrong. He built a mind that could endure pressure, absorb stress, and keep moving with clarity and purpose. That's why he won, not because he avoided challenges, but because he became the type of person who could face any challenge and keep going. Not because life was easy, but because he became strong enough to handle life when it wasn't. Not because he never faced fear, but because he refused to let fear make decisions for him. A mind that doesn't fold is the most powerful asset you can develop. And once you build it, the world can push, pressure, and test you, but it will never break you. People love pretending the world is fair. They love saying things like hard work pays off eventually, or good things come to those who wait. But that's not how the real world works. The marketplace doesn't reward hard work. It doesn't reward trying. It doesn't reward good intentions. The marketplace rewards monsters of effort, people who operate at a level others aren't willing to touch. The youngest Amazon millionaire didn't become successful because Amazon is magical. He didn't become rich because he found a loophole or a perfect product. He became rich because he outworked everyone around him. Not a little, not sometimes, every single day. The marketplace is neutral. It has no emotions, no favorites, no sympathy. It doesn't care about your background, problems, struggles, or excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired, stressed, or inexperienced. It rewards one thing, domination of effort. That is the currency, that is the difference maker. That is why this kid rose faster than people twice his age. He didn't enter Amazon hoping for success. He entered determined to take it. Determined to outperform competitors who had more money, more experience, and more connections. Determined to show up before the sun came up and stay locked in long after others were done. He didn't wait for motivation. He built momentum through movement. He didn't seek comfort, he sought results. People underestimate what relentless effort looks like. They think working a few hours means they're grinding. They think watching tutorials means they're learning. They think planning means they're progressing. But while they were planning, he was executing. While they were thinking, he was testing. While they were hesitating, he was improving. His effort wasn't normal, it was obsessive. He became a machine for growth. While competitors checked their sales, he checked his weaknesses. While competitors took breaks, he optimized listings. While competitors tried to balance a life, he was unbalanced on purpose. Because greatness is born from extremes. He wasn't trying to compete, he was trying to dominate. That's why the marketplace rewarded him, not because it liked him, not because he got lucky, but because he earned attention with action. He forced his way into success through sheer output. His discipline, consistency, and resistance to comfort became a weapon, and the marketplace responds to weapons because effort on that level can't be ignored. Most people never win because their effort level is average. They work when they feel like it, they push only when they're motivated, they quit when things get boring, they want peak results with minimum pressure, they want millionaire rewards with hobby-level effort. The marketplace sees that kind of person and moves on. But when someone shows up with monster effort, when someone works like there's no backup plan, no safety net, no plan B, the marketplace eventually bends. It eventually pays, it eventually gives in because raw, consistent, relentless effort is too powerful to be denied forever. This kid understood that. He wasn't competing with others, he was competing with his own potential. He wanted to see how far he could push, how much he could learn, how much he could produce, how far he could stretch his limits before they snapped, and that desire made him dangerous. A person who can outwork everyone becomes impossible to stop. A person who refuses comfort becomes unstoppable. A person whose effort is monstrous becomes a force the marketplace must reward. Success didn't chase him. He hunted it down. The marketplace didn't gift him anything. He took it. Amazon didn't make him a millionaire. His effort did. That's the truth. Not everyone becomes successful. Only the ones who operate at a level the average person could never sustain. Only the ones who turn effort into a weapon. Only the ones who show up like monsters, every day, without apology, without hesitation, without compromise. In the end, the youngest Amazon millionaire isn't a story about business. It's not about algorithms, ads, suppliers, or product research. It's a story about becoming the kind of person success cannot ignore. He didn't win because he had some magical advantage. He won because he refused every excuse that destroys average people. He didn't care about age, he cared about output. He didn't look for shortcuts, he built discipline so sharp it became one. He didn't fear failure, he used it as fuel. He didn't crumble under pressure. He built a mind that could carry weight most people can't even comprehend. He didn't wait for the marketplace to reward him. He forced it to acknowledge him through monstrous effort. His success wasn't an accident. It was crafted, built, earned. Forged in nights when nobody was watching, in moments when most people quit, in battles inside his own mind that he had to win before he won anything else. This isn't just a blueprint for Amazon. This is a blueprint for domination. If you want what he has, you must become what he became, a person who outworks doubt, a person who outlasts failure, a person who outperforms excuses, a person who refuses to fold when pressure hits. A person whose effort becomes impossible to compete with. Success goes to the ones who stop waiting and start becoming, the ones who stop asking and start executing, the ones who stop wishing and start building. Because the world doesn't care who you are, it cares what you produce. And if you bring the fire, the hunger, the discipline, the resilience, the unstoppable mindset that he built, then the marketplace will eventually open the doors you once thought were locked. The youngest Amazon millionaire didn't succeed because he was lucky. He succeeded because he turned himself into someone who could not be denied. That is your path. That is your challenge. That is your story waiting to be written.